Okay, we'll start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiret Nashtaprayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं चैतन्यमीश्वरम् ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो श्रीपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जय पताका स्वामी नामने नम आचार्य पदानिताय कृपा पदानि गौर कथता मदाय नगर ब्रह्मचार ओम तस् हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna,
Dandavat
Prabhuji, pranam.
pranams to all of you for joining us Bhagavatam study. As mentioned, every day we are so fortunate to read Bhagavatam. At least some time we are spending every day reading and understanding Bhagavatam. So today we are going to discuss Canto 2, Chapter 6, Text 36, right?
Yes,
That's
Prabhuji.
right, Prabhuji.
Who is going to read? This is another wonderful sloka and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Let's try to meditate on it. Yeah.
It's me, Prabhuji. Om
Please go
Namo
ahead.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The first one is Nata Asmi Aham Tat Karanam
Charanam.
Charanam.
C stands for cha.
Charanam Samiyusam Bhavat
Sami Yushama.
Samiyusama
Whenever there is a line above, it becomes dirgha.
Samiyusama
Sami Yusam.
Samiyusam
Nato asmi aham cha tat charanam sami yushama.
Yusamam Bhavat Chiddam Swasti
Ayanam.
Ayanam Sumangalam Ya Hi Atma Maya Atma Maya
Vibhavam.
Vibhavam
Vibhavam.
Asma Paryagat Yata Yata Nabhya Swa
Nabhavam.
Swanantam
Swantam.
Swantam.
Swantam Atha Apara Atha
Apare.
Apara
Aha.
Kutaha.
Apare Kutha
Utaha.
Srila
If
Prabhupada
you
ki
read
jai.
the word by word meaning, it's easy to, read sloka. Anyway, go ahead.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, it is best for me to surrender unto his feet, which alone can deliver one from the miseries of repeated birth and death. Such surrender is all auspicious and allows one to perceive all happiness. Even the sky cannot estimate the limits of its own expansion. So, what can others do when the Lord Himself is unable to estimate His own limits? Purport. Lord Brahma, the greatest of all learned living beings, the greatest sacrificer, the greatest observer of the austerity life, and the greatest self realized mystic advises us as the supreme spiritual master of all living beings that one should simply surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord in order to achieve all success, even up to the limit of being liberated from the miseries of material life and being endowed with all auspicious spiritual existence. Lord Brahma is known as the Pitamaha or the father's father. A young man consults his experienced father after discharging his duties. So the father is naturally a good advisor. But Lord Brahma is the father of all fathers. He is the father of Manu, who is the father of mankind, or mankind all over the universal planets. Therefore, the men of this insignificant planet should kindly accept the instructions of Brahmaji and would do well to surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord rather than to try estimate the length and breadth of the Lord's potentials. His potentials are immeasurable, as confirmed in the Vedas. Parasaya
च शक्तिर्विविधैव स्वीयते स्वाभाविकैर्ज्ञान बल क्रिया च
Sweta bracket में
श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषद
Sweta Upanyasad 6.8. He is the greatest of all, and all others, even the greatest of all living beings, namely Brahmaji, admits that the best thing for us is to surrender unto him. Therefore, only those persons who are very poor fund, with a very poor fund of knowledge claim that they themselves are the lords of all that they survey. And what can they survey? They cannot survey even the length and breadth of the small sky in one small universe. The so called material scientists say that he would need to live 40,000 years to reach the highest planet of the universe, being carried by a Sputnik. This is also utopian because no one can be expected to live 40,000 years. Beside, when the space pilot returned from his travel, none of his friends would be present to receive him back as the greatest astronaut, as he as has become fashionable for modern bewildered scientific men. One scientific man who had no belief in God was very much enthusiastic in making plans for his material existence and therefore opened a hospital to save the living. But after opening the hospital, he himself died within 6 months. So one should not spoil his human life, which is obtained after many changes of bodies in uh, uh, 84 lakhs species of life simply for the co- uh, cositate material happiness of life, though increasing artificial needs in the name of the advancement of economic development and scientific knowledge. Rather, one should simply surrender unto the feet of the Lord to make a solution to all miseries of life. That is the instruction of Lord Sri Krishna directly in Bhagavad Gita, and that is the instructions of Srimad Bhagavatam by Brahmaji, the supreme father of all living beings. Anyone denying this surrendering process as recommended both in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and for that matter in all authorized scriptures, will be forced to surrender unto the laws of the material nature. The living entity, by his constitutional position, is not independent. He must surrender either unto the Lord or unto material nature. Material nature is also not independent of Lord, since the Lord himself has claimed material nature as Mama Maya or my energy, and me, Bina Prakriti as
my energy
sorry,
Astada
Astada.
Astada
Asada, or my separated energy in 8 divisions. Therefore, material nature is also controlled by the Lord, as he has claimed in Bhagavad Gita 9.8. 10. Maya Dhyakshana.
Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Charchara.
Under my direction only is material nature working, and thus are all things moving, and the living entities being superior energy to matter have choice and discrimination, either to surrender unto the Lord or to surrender unto material nature. By surrendering unto the Lord, one is happy and liberated, but by surrendering unto material nature, the living entity suffers. So, the end of all suffering means surrendering unto the Lord, because surrendering process itself is bhava chittadam, a liberation from all material miseries. What? How do I pronounce? Uh,
Swastyayanam.
Swastyayanam, perception of all happiness, and Sumangalam, the source of everything auspicious. Therefore, liberty, happiness, and all good fortune can be attained only by surrendering unto the Lord, because He is full liberty, full happiness, and full auspiciousness. Such liberation and happiness are also unlimited, and they have been compared to the sky. Although such liberation and happiness are infinitely greater than the sky, in our present position, we can simply understand the magnitude of greatness when it is compared to the sky. We fail to measure the sky, but the happiness and the liberty obtained in the association with the Lord are far greater than the sky. That spiritual happiness is so great that it cannot be measured, even by the Lord Himself, not to speak of others. It is said in the scriptures, Brahma Sautyam, uh,
Brahma Sokyam
Brahma
Tva Anta.
Sautyam, Tva
Tva
Antam,
Anantam.
Tvam
Anantam.
Anantam. So, Brahma Saukyam, Tva Anantyam. Spiritual happiness is unlimited. Here it is said that even the Lord cannot measure such happiness. This does not mean that the Lord cannot measure it, and it is therefore imperfect in that sense. The actual position is that the Lord can measure it, but the happiness in the Lord is also identical with the Lord on account of absolute knowledge. So, the happiness derived from the Lord may be measured by the Lord, but the happiness increases again, and the Lord measures it again. And then again, the happiness increases more and more. The Lord measures it more and more, and as such there is eternally a competition between increment and measurement, so much so that the competition is never stopped but goes on unlimitedly ad infinitum. Spiritual happiness is ananda bhu, bhu,
Anandam Buddhi
ananda
Vardhanam.
ananda buddhi
Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam.
Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam, or the ocean of happiness which increases. The material ocean is stagnant, but the spiritual ocean is dynamic. In this chai, Chaitanya Chari
Charitamrita.
Chari
Tamrita.
Charitamrita Charitamrita Adi Leela,
Adi
fourth
Adilila
chapter.
Pursam.
Kaviraja Goswami
Goswami.
has nicely described this dynamic increment of the ocean of spiritual happiness in the transcendental person of Srimati Radharani, the pleasure potency of Lord Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
1 second. Wonderful. Brahmaji is glorifying at the same time the purport given by Srila Prabhupada. Brahmaji says, therefore it is best for me to surrender unto his lotus feet, which alone can deliver one from the miseries of repeated birth and death. Actually, of course, we all know that Brahmaji is not telling for himself. He's telling for all of us. This is a message for me, actually. He says, no, don't think all those things. Don't think, you are great and also simply surrender. And that's the only thing you can save you from the repeated birth and death. Otherwise, nothing else can. Because the mukti can be given by Mukunda only. The liberation can be given by Krishna only, nobody else. That's why it's simply surrender. And surrender is all auspicious and allows one to perceive all happiness. That real happiness is only surrender. Because when I think that when I'm doing it, I naturally get pressure, naturally get pride and pressure. But when I think that I'm just simply following the order, I don't have any pressure. I don't have anything to, feel pride of it. I just simply follow the order. So that's why the surrendering is given so much importance. It says all auspicious and it perceive all happiness. And Brahmaji says even sky cannot estimate the limit of his own happiness, expansion. And Brahmaji saying even Lord himself is unable to estimate its own limits. Lord is beyond. Prabhupada explains that why it is, and doesn't mean that Lord cannot estimate. And Lord is not incapable. That is the point, not the point. Lord is not able to expansion means, in the end of this purpose, Srila Prabhupada explains that how as soon as a Lord starts seeing that, other side is increases. As soon as Lord side appreciate that, other side increases. So the more service and more service, Lord sees more and again more service. So there is a competition between the Lord and his devotee, especially Srimati Radha and of course all the pure devotees. That's why that happiness is not able to measure. Prabhupada in the purport writes, Lord Brahma is the greatest of all learned beings. We discussed yesterday. He has done all the austerities, all the knowledge, everything is there. And but still he says that one should simply surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord in order to achieve all success. If anybody desiring to any success, the only process, very simple process and easy process to simply surrender to Lord's, lotus feet. And Prabhupada says he is the Pitamaha, the great grandfather, because when for human being, Manusha, Manu is father, and he's father of Manu. That way is Pitamaha, and it's for any young man. It's a best is to simply go and ask suggestion from a senior, because the seniors or elderly person is more experienced, has seen the world. So here Brahmaji is giving that advice. So it is for us jivas to simply accept whatever Brahmaji is saying, and follow that. Prabhupada in quoting Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Suyate Swabhavika Jnana Bala Kriya Cha. In quoting from Shvetashvata Upanishad, it says, he is the greatest of all, and all others, even the greatest of all living beings, namely Brahmaji, admits that best thing is to surrender. Even everybody accepts, all Devi Devatas, everybody simply says surrender to him. So that's why Prabhupada says only those persons who are very poor fund of knowledge claim that they themselves are lords of all that they survey. The poor fund of knowledge, or who are ill-educated, or who have no knowledge, they can claim themselves that yes, I'm the boss, or I'm the controller. That's all. It's a lack of knowledge. So this is what today's world is. Today's world is Kaitava Dharma. Kaitava Dharma means people have either no knowledge or they follow the wrong dharma. So what is dharma? Dharma is to Sakshat Bhagavat Pranita. Dharma, which is teaches whatever Lord said, that is dharma. But today we have so many dharmas. So it's not even dharma, so religion. The religion, keep changing. People are, changing the religion. But dharma cannot change. I can change the religion. Religion is a faith. The faith I can change, but my dharma cannot change. Actually, religion, to the extent Prabhupada says that religion is a process that teaches how to love God. That's a religion. Any process that doesn't teach or teaches against loving God is not religion. So as soon as one loves a God, he loves anything connected to the Lord. Simple example, if one loves a father, he loves all his children because father loves children. I cannot say that, Papa, I love you, but I'll kill your son. That cannot happen. So similarly, the jiva, whoever thinks that he is following the religion, if he loves a God, he should love every jiva because he says, Aham bija pada pritha. He says, I'm the seed giving father for every jiva. So if I have to kill one jiva means I'm killing the children of that father. Then how can we say I love Lord? Then whichever the religion. So religion that doesn't love God is not a religion. So that's why Prabhupada is saying here the poor fund of knowledge. That's why scriptures knowledge is required. And of course, Prabhupada here talks about one is going to different planets. Takes 40,000 years. If somebody who want to leave 40,000 years can go. Anyway, let's not debate into that because it's a lot of possible misunderstanding. So the point proper again, anyone denying this surrendering process as recommended both in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita also, the end, whatever Krishna spoke, whole one chapter Arjuna spoke, Arjuna gave so many reasons. Then Krishna, when as soon as Arjuna says Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava shishyaste ham shadima prapanna. When Arjuna says, Krishna, I have no knowledge now. I am confused. I don't know what is dharma. Dharma, please accept me as your disciple and give me instruction. Then Krishna says, yeah, you are talking like a Pandita, but you are not Pandita. You are lamenting for which not supposed to lament. And in that, then he says, third chapter, Karma Yoga, then Dhyana Yoga, so many process. Finally, in the 18th chapter, he says, Sarva Dharma Parityajya Mameka Sharanam Vraja. Give up all your activities. Dharma, it doesn't say that, Hindu Dharma Krishna. He says, all your activities. Give up everything. Surrender to me alone. Alone. It's very boldly saying that, Ham tasarva papebhyo mokshayasma sucha. I'll take care of all your sins and do not worry. So, Bhagavad Gita also says, Bhagavatam also, throughout the process is simply surrender. That's why Prabhupada is saying here, one doesn't surrender to Lord. Definitely he has to surrender to the material nature. One day, one has to leave this body, either Yamaduta or Vishnuduta. You definitely have to leave. There is nobody in the permanent here. And even the material nature, birth, death, old age, disease, whatever the great person may be, one day he'll have a disease or he'll have death. So he has to go through that. Or he has old age. He cannot stop old age. He cannot stop disease. He cannot stop death. So he has to surrender. He has no choice. So, but Prabhupada also says that material energy also not independent. That's also under Krishna's, under control. It says 7:14 says that Deviyesha Gunamai Mama Maya Durathaya. It says that Maya is also my energy. The material energy is my energy. You cannot control that material energy. But one who surrendered to me, yes, she will help you. So that's why Krishna, the Prabhupada says, simply surrender to him. He is quoting 7:14 and then 9:10. Maya Dekshena Prakriti Swete Saracharajan. Krishna saying that everything happens in my direction. There is nothing moves. Even a blade of grass doesn't move without my instructions, my approval. So that is what Krishna is very bold and very clear. There is no confusion. There is no Krishna doesn't say that it can happen. No, it happens like this only. So he says simply, it's under my direction. Krishna is very clear. And unlimited number of planets, unlimited number of Brahmas, everything happens on my direction. Krishna is very clear. And that's why he says, Prabhupada also says, Brahmaji also says that. Brahma says, because of that, his expansions has no limit, unlimited, and he himself may not able to calculate. Again, Prabhupada clarifies, as I said earlier, like it doesn't mean that Krishna is not capable of calculating. But what happens that when Krishna creates and Krishna appreciates, that other side increases. When that other increases, Krishna appreciates more, again increases. So that competition keep on going. That's why it says, not able to measure, because that pleasure is keep increasing. In the finally Prabhupada clarifies here. His Prabhupada also talks about the three things here. Bhavat Chiddham, liberation from all material miseries. So this is the consciousness we should develop. Develop the consciousness, the liberation from the material miseries. We are all, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about we are suffering because of material miseries. the conscious material consciousness. That's why I'm suffering today. Because whatever I do, I connect with my body, or my ego. That's why I'm suffering, because it doesn't work. Because when what I think doesn't work, I get irritated, I get upset, and that leads to so many other things. So that is a material consciousness, because I think that I should be the central point. It should be happen the way I want it. That's why all this problem happens. So swasti ayanam, perception of all happiness. Again, happiness is a kind of a perception. The same situation can be happy for one person, same situation can be unhappy, sad for another person. Very nice example given, like on the street there could be one umbrella seller and there could be one vegetable seller. If it rains, the vegetable seller is unhappy because his vegetable gets spoiled. The umbrella seller is happy because his umbrella gets sold. Or when there is a disease, doctors are happy, maybe. And I'm not saying that they should be happy, but generally their business increases. The general people are not happy because they are in suffering. So that's why the the happiness is a kind of a perception. And Sumangalam, the source of everything, is auspiciousness. So Krishna's activity is Sumangala. Mangalam, everything auspicious, and Sumangalam, very, very auspicious. So Prabhupada also says such liberation and happiness are also unlimited. And also finally Prabhupada says the spiritual happiness is so great that it cannot be measured even by the Lord himself, not to speak of others. Yeah, we explained that. Brahma Saukyam Anantam, spiritual happiness unlimited. The some measurement is given. In the material world, the happiness, like for example, the happiness can be kind of enjoyed with the senses. If all my senses are in full capacity, how much I can enjoy, and that into thousand times is the spiritual happiness. That's because our senses are imperfect. For example, if I like some food, how much I can eat? Maybe gulab jam, if I like two, four, maybe five. After that, I cannot eat. So my senses are not perfect. I mean, anything that sense related, I cannot do that. But even if the all senses are 100% correct, still, the happiness we got when spiritual thing is much more. That's the reason the greatest rich person, they come to Krishna, they simply surrender, give up everything, because the kind of happiness they get here, no one can give you. So Prabhupada says actual position is that can measure it. We discussed that. The competition between increment and measurement, yeah, this is the point. So even Prabhupada, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, भवमहाधवाग्नि निर्वापनं श्रियत्खैरव चंद्रिका वितरणं विद्यावद जीवनम आनंदामुदिवर्धनम.
प्रतिपदम
ओहो,
पूर्णामृतम
Anandhamudivardhanam. Anandham Mudivardhanam. Ananda increases. Sri Krishna Sankirtam Paramijati. So when we chant the holy name, the Ananda increases. That's where the competition happens. Prabhupada finally says that Srimati Radharani serves Krishna, and Krishna serves Srimati Radharani. Means Radharani can be a representative of the Jiva. Krishna serves every Jiva, and every jiva should serve Krishna. As soon as a jiva serves Krishna, Krishna is happy. And Krishna reciprocates that. And jiva reciprocates that. That's so that competition between serving and accepting service both keeps on going. So actually the jiva's job is to simply serve, but Krishna doesn't keep quiet. Krishna reciprocates that. Each and every step I take, Krishna takes 1,000 steps towards me. So that's why that happiness is unmeasurable. So that reciprocation happens. So that's why Prabhupada is saying that the exchange between Srimati Radharani and Krishna is unlimited. Nobody can measure it. And similarly, the tinge of that can be experienced by every jiva, because jiva is Swarupa Nityara Krishna Das. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. Sorry, wonderful purport. Maybe devotees can
Hare
share
Krishna
that.
Prabhuji.
Mataji. Please share your comments. Who want to? We have a few first timers. Maybe Jayalakshmi Mataji, Hare Krishna. Priya Mataji, Hare Krishna. Priya Chavan Mataji. Okay, so maybe who want to share? Murali Prabhu, go ahead.
So Lord is ever attractive. He is very attractive. He is sociologically, psychologically, technically, and spiritual enlightenment is the highest. So in each and every field, there are very good books, Prabhu. I came across some that sociology and psychology. We can understand very good technical books like. Some logic books, camphor lights to smoke and fire, the reverse doesn't happen. So that logic also, it's under some good books are there. So I mean, the science of soul, highest knowledge, which is spiritual knowledge. That one, the science of soul means whatever we get, give it out. That is spiritual science, Prabhu. Without accumulation, whatever we get, we share it with others.
Yeah.
That is I feel, Prabhu.
Thank you so much.
Soul
Yes.
is satisfied with that. Soul gets satisfied and we feel nice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Priya Mataji, want to say anything? कुछ बोलने का है आज? No. Okay. Sridevi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Brahmaji says, simply surrender unto the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. By doing this, living entities are devoid of material miseries and the cycle of birth, death, disease, and old age. And also, a person who surrenders to the lotus feet is all successful and blissful. This Lord himself tells in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. People with poor fund of knowledge surrender to material life, but Krishna says that material energy also emanates from me only. Both spiritual and material natures comes from me only, but who surrenders to me are happy and who surrenders to material nature suffers. Spiritual happiness is unlimited. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Sudhavadi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Pronouns.
Namaste.
Usually at home we take the advice of elders, and eldest is Parabrahma Brahmaji, and he is the oldest, and we have to take his advice. Um, he says that Krishna is. We have to completely surrender. We have to leave our pride, ego, and completely surrender to Lord Krishna, so that we don't fall into this life and death cycle. And also, like, if we fall into this uh, material things, then we are prone to get attracted to different things, and also we might fall having lot of desires, and also we might not control the senses. So what is good for us is to have detachment towards material things and completely surrender to Lord Krishna, hold his feet, and also we have to leave our ego, and also faith. We should have complete faith in him. And because why? Because suppose if we are attracted to material things, that enjoyment is temporary. But if we hold on to Krishna's feet, and if we go into the spiritual path, completely surrender to Krishna, then that happiness is ultimate. That we can see Radharani also, because of which even Krishna is surprised, like how come she's so happy. So that's how he has avatar of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to taste that happiness. So we can imagine like what would be the benefits of holding to Krishna's feet and going towards the spiritual path. That is my understanding, Prabhuji.
Thank you so
Hare
much,
Krishna.
Mataji. Vasugi Mataji. Anything? No. Reena Das Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So Brahmaji is saying like surrendering to the God. I think that's the best thing that one can do because he is unlimited and we know that he helps us removing all the sufferings from our life and as is infinite and it's very difficult to understand fully understand by humans in terms of the Supreme Lord. But one thing which is very clear is if we take the shelter of the Supreme Lord, Lord Shri Krishna, he helps us remove all the sufferings, and his greatness is beyond the own human understanding. Because Brahma himself, who has come from Lord Shri Krishna, is not able to understand the limitlessness which Lord Shri Krishna has. But he also has said that God alone truly understands himself. So his power is too vast, and it's very difficult for us to understand and measure even the like the sky. So one can fully understand God except God himself. So the best learning from here is it's always good to take the shelter of Lord because he would help us remove all suffering, and his greatness is beyond the human understanding. So surrendering to the God is the best thing to get out from all the sufferings, and that's the learning for the day today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jayalakshmi Mataji, want to say anything? Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Real happiness lies in surrendering to Krishna only, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Nothing
Krishna.
else. Nothing else.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. My unconditional surrender to Supreme Lord only lead to progress in spiritual progress, and there is constant expansion of happiness in spiritual world. And Brahmaji recommends best thing is surrender to Supreme Lord. Ill-educated, lack of knowledge, poor fund of knowledge, unable to understand supremacy of Lord. And Jiva who loves God must be naturally uh, loving all Jivas. Jivas are supposed to surrender to Lord or to material nature. Accordingly, he is to face Vishnu Tuta or Yamatuta at the end of their life, and everything functions as per directions of Supreme Lord Krishna, and his expansions are unlimited. Bhavachitam, liberation from all material miseries. In case of disease, doctors are advantageous. When it rains, vegetable seller is put in trouble, whereas an umbrella seller is put in advantageous position. This is a duality of this duality nature of this world, and my senses are limited in sense gratification, whereas spiritual world is unlimited. Krishna serves every jiva, and jiva must engage in serving Supreme Lord without any expectation. And I must have complete faith and get rid of my ego and surrender to Supreme Lord. That much I have understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful class.
Asha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. My takeaway, every jiva should simply surrender to the Lord. Mukti can only be given by Mukunda. And we have to simply accept what Brahmaji is saying. Religion is a process and that teaches how to love God. Happiness is, ultimate happiness is surrendering to the Supreme. Krishna and all his activities uh, are all the activities which is related to Krishna are Sumangala. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for the
Hare
class.
Krishna. Thank you. Priya Mataji, want to say anything? You're there? Or? Okay. So I have a request. So Umashankar Prabhu is trying to do a lot of preaching in social media, because now people are there in the social media, so we have to go into that videos like YouTube or Facebook, Instagram. Please like your Facebook or what you call YouTube, like which videos and forward to others. Similarly, follow Facebook and Instagram, just to so that the more people are we can reach. Try to help us by forwarding to as many people as possible and liking it, like every day's video. And also you can also give us some contribution content, so that we can expand as many people as possible. Hare Krishna. So with this I'll stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo patidana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we'll see you on
class
Monday.
ki jai. Thank you
So
so much, Prabhuji,
Monday,
for this
let's
wonderful
call
class.
as many devotees as possible. Let everybody participate. Hare Krishna. Dharat Pranam.